When a woman got drunk and plowed into a little league field, she ended up hitting a respected principal who lost both of his legs as a result. Luckily for her, she got a plea deal. On the day of her court hearing, however, she stumbled in hours late. Her next despicable move would have the judge immediately teaching her a lesson she won't forget anytime soon. Before we continue, please take some time to subscribe to Dailydose, like, and share this video with your friends. Marilyn Aguilera of Miami-Dade, Florida, doesn't make good decisions. Choosing to drive drunk with a blood alcohol level, BAL, that would later be determined to be 3 times the legal limit, Aguilera wrecked more lives than just her own, literally. Sadly, the grossly intoxicated woman crashed at the worst imaginable place when she plowed into a baseball field during a Little League championship game. Aguilera struck a dad who was coaching his 5-year-old son's team. That dad was Javier Perez, who also happened to be a 44-year-old high school principal. When police arrived, they not only found Aguilera's BL to be 3 times the legal limit, but she had an open beer as well. The 52-year-old mother was arrested for drunk driving and faced stiff penalties after the injuries she caused an innocent man. As a result of the accident, Javier Perez, who was not only a husband and a father but also a coach, popular principal, and productive member of society, lost both of his legs. His road to recovery was long and hard. Enduring 20 surgeries and more than 100 transfusions, he hopes to walk again one day with the help of prosthetic limbs. What's more, he just wanted to put the whole incident behind him so that he could move forward, but Aguilera would ruin that for him too. Perez, who's become an inspiration, noted that he had compassion for the woman who caused such upheaval and pain in his life. He simply wanted closure for the incident. That's why Aguilera was offered a plea deal after committing such a heinous crime. It was a plea deal her own victim was behind. Under the deal offered by the state, she would be charged with 3 counts of DUI and serve 4 years in prison, 1 year of house arrest, and 2 years of probation. One would think that she'd feel blessed to have caught such a break, but instead Aguilera took it all for granted when she showed up to court late and completely incoherent. Miami-Dade Circuit Judge Diane Ward was rightfully infuriated after Aguilera showed up hours late for court, then cried and begged to be let off early. But shockingly, her behavior got even worse. With Perez present for the hearing, in which the defendant was supposed to accept the deal, Aguilera complained that her mother, who is in a wheelchair, needs her. This after walking in hours late, incoherent and on medication, and after bawling and begging the judge for early release from prison. "It's just, I'm more concerned about Mom, who is wheelchair-bound as well," Aguilera said, while standing in front of the man she sentenced to a wheelchair when she chose to drive drunk. You can imagine the outrage Judge Ward must have felt to see such a lack of accountability in her courtroom. Aguilera obviously didn't fully accept responsibility for what she had done. She had learned nothing from the ordeal. So Judge Ward decided to teach her a lesson. Furious, the judge hit Aguilera with a brutal reply to her inconsiderate remarks. "Well, it seems like there's many people that are now wheelchair-bound," Judge Ward shot back. But that's not all the judge did. The angered judge also took the plea deal off the table, saying she wasn't going to accept it, forcing the woman to face trial instead. Setting a future trial date, the judge also told Aguilera to act like a grown-up. After her courtroom shenanigans, the drunk driving mom, who claims to suffer from bipolar disorder, was facing up to 7 years in prison rather than the 4 years offered by the plea. There's a lesson for the rest of us to learn here as well. First is the most obvious: don't drive drunk. However, if you do find yourself in hot water and going to court to face a judge, it's a good rule of thumb not to make the judge angry. This is especially true if you've been lucky enough to get a plea deal, and there isn't much that will infuriate a judge faster than a blatant lack of accountability. Be responsible for your decisions and your mistakes. Behaving like a petulant child isn't going to score you any points. Aguilera's story is a stark reminder of the consequences of reckless behavior, especially when it involves alcohol. Her decision to drive while intoxicated not only changed her life, but also shattered the life of Javier Perez and his family. Perez, who was simply trying to enjoy a day at the baseball field with his son, now faces a future that looks very different from the one he had planned. The impact of such a tragic event extends far beyond the immediate physical injuries. Perez's family has had to cope with the emotional and psychological toll of seeing their loved one endure so much pain and suffering. Friends, colleagues, and students who looked up to Perez as a mentor and leader have also been affected by the incident. His journey to recovery, marked by numerous surgeries and the hope of walking again with prosthetic limbs, is a testament to his resilience and determination. Aguilera's actions in the courtroom further highlight her disregard for the severity of her crime. Her late arrival and incoherent state were not just disrespectful to the court, but also to Perez and everyone else affected by her actions. Her plea for leniency based on her mother's condition seemed hollow and self-serving, especially in light of the fact that her victim now requires a wheelchair due to her recklessness. Judge Ward's decision to revoke the plea deal was a clear message that accountability and responsibility cannot be ignored. The legal system offered Aguilera a chance to make amends with a relatively lenient sentence considering the gravity of her offense. Her behavior, however, demonstrated a lack of remorse and an unwillingness to accept the consequences of her actions. By setting a trial date and potentially increasing her prison sentence, Judge Ward reinforced the importance of taking responsibility for one's actions and showing genuine contrition. The case also underscores the importance of having a legal system that upholds justice and fairness. While plea deals can be beneficial in many cases, ensuring that they are accepted and adhered to with the seriousness they deserve is crucial. Aguilera's case serves as a reminder that the legal system must balance leniency with accountability, especially in cases involving severe harm to others. For Javier Perez, the journey to recovery is ongoing. His determination to walk again with the help of prosthetic limbs is an inspiration to many. His story is a powerful example of resilience in the face of adversity and the importance of support from loved ones and the community. Perez's ability to show compassion towards Aguilera, despite the pain she caused him, speaks volumes about his character and strength. In the end, Aguilera's actions serve as a cautionary tale about the dangers of drunk driving and the importance of taking responsibility for one's actions. Her case highlights the far-reaching consequences of reckless behavior and the need for accountability in the legal system. For those who find themselves in similar situations, Aguilera's story is a stark reminder of the importance of facing the consequences with maturity and respect for those affected by their actions.